About 250 million years ago, the dinosaurs reigned over this place. Here in the Gobi Desert, there is sand. Sand as far as the eye can see. Sand and paleontologists. Since dinosaur fossils began to be found here in 1921, the Gobi has attracted many people, especially archaeological experts. This man has just discovered a bone, which I presume fits in somewhere. Finding all the pieces of this puzzle must be difficult, but not impossible. The dinosaurs disappeared from the Gobi 60 million years ago. The sandstorms and avalanches finished them off, but we can get some idea of what they were like by visiting the Natural History Museum in Ulaanbaatar. In 1993, a mixed team of American and Mongolian paleontologists discovered 100 complete dinosaur skeletons and some fossilized eggs with little dinosaurs gestating inside them. Impressed, I stroll around among vertebrae, spines, and more vertebrae. Skulls, heads, and more heads, a fascinating museum. The desert that Marco Polo crossed 700 years ago still contains hundreds of hidden treasures waiting to be unearthed. The climate does not make it easy. 50 degrees centigrade in the summer and minus 40 in winter mean that the Gobi is not a very welcoming place, but does make it a real paradise for Indiana Jones. This is the jungle where the legend of the Monkey Man was born, the tropical jungle of Sumatra and Borneo, the kingdom of the orangutan. The native Dayaks always called it the orang-utan, which means man of the jungle. The Red King of this jungle lives up in the heights and does not form social groups. This graceful way of moving using your arms and bending the branches is called brachiation by zoologists. You have to have very powerful arms to make up to 90 kilos fly like this. If you spend your life going from branch to branch, then you really need to be able to measure distances well. And the orangutans do it with incredible precision, thanks to their stereoscopic vision. As well as excellent sight, they are also expert botanists who don't make mistakes. They never put a poisonous plant into their mouths. Orangutans have happy childhoods. During the first 5 years, the child does not separate from its mother, and with her it learns and develops its intelligence. A very special mother-child relationship. The males, on the other hand, lead solitary lives. They eat during the day, and when night falls, they build enormous nests up in the treetops. It is rare to find a receptive female. They are too busy bringing up their children. He sleeps alone, and the female sleeps with her child. They're very skillful and put the leaves to many different uses. For example, if it rains heavily, a hat. They don't like too much rain, but they put up with it, as water keeps their beloved tropical jungle alive so they can continue happily swinging among the trees. In southern Kenya, very close to Amboseli and on the border with Tanzania, live the Masai. The Masai love and take care of their cattle. From them, they obtain everything they need: blood, milk, and manure. They have been here for almost 400 years, but with the creation of the Amboseli National Park, the government resettled them in the surrounding area. The Masai are above all a warrior and cattle-rearing people. In the Imanyat, or village, it is forbidden to eat meat. Only the warriors, called Moran, the defenders of the village, eat it on rare occasions. They don't eat meat, but they do drink the blood of their animals mixed with milk like the samburu. The blood provides them with an extra ration of proteins and vitamins. This animal doesn't appear to be very convinced. They stick a little arrow in it, the blood immediately flows, and they collect it in a gourd with milk. The wound is almost immediately staunched. And now, to your health. They drink it and pass the gourd around. Being cattle breeders is not incompatible with personal hygiene. They are very clean and they like to look good. As well as worrying about their appearance, they are also very good-humored, a happy, smiling people. Despite the fact that women have many different tasks to do, they also have time to dress up. Marriage is very important for them, a social milestone. And overabundant manure is a problem. Today is a special day. While the men make those jumps which seem to lift them up to the sky, the women follow the rhythm of the music wearing their incredible necklaces. The Masai live, jump, and dance without heating up the planet. We have come to the Patagonia in Argentina. This is the Valdes Peninsula, declared a World Heritage Site. For a very weighty reason. For years, with the arrival of winter, the southern right whale came to these warm, calm waters to breed and give birth to their young. As they are slow swimming, and what's more, they float in the water when they die, they became easy prey for the whalers. On the verge of extinction, the southern right whale abandoned this place. Fortunately, since hunting was prohibited, the whales have returned. Here, there is food in abundance, but not the right food for them, so during their stay in the Valdes Peninsula, they will use up the considerable amount of fat they have accumulated. They are not all fat, however. Their tails are pure fiber. Though this individual is not accompanied right now, it is normal to see several males courting a single female, and it is she who chooses. The female will copulate with the chosen one in these calm, warm waters. When the calf is born, the mother will never leave its side. She will take care of it and lovingly breastfeed it for 1 year. But not everything is copulation, maternity, and happiness. The right whale has some callosities on their heads which are colonized whitish and very bothersome whale lice, a kind of crustacean. Some biologists think that they jump in order to rid themselves of this tangle of crustaceans. Others believe they do it simply for fun. Oh, to be a southern whale. I could watch them for hours, but as I don't have as much fat as them, the freezing cold forces me back to dry land. These islands scattered across the Pacific Ocean belong to Papua-New Guinea, and they were not explored until the middle of the 20th century. Their inhabitants were reputed to be bloodthirsty warriors, fond of both decapitation and cannibalism. The European explorers preferred to leave the cursed islands well alone and not lose their heads. Today, there are still some tribes that practice it, above all in New Guinea. But we are in New Britain, and here nobody has the slightest intention of eating anyone. What they do is to keep their traditions alive. 2 young tolais are going to be subjected to the fish test, and for this they smear their bodies with green sap from the trees. In Papua, hundreds of churches have appeared, which try to attract the natives to their beliefs. Though they sometimes attend the ceremonies of these new imported religions, the Papuans remain loyal to their traditions. In the majority of cases, these initiations are painful. I hope it is rather more gentle than the crocodile men's ceremony, but I'm afraid they're going to whip them. They must withstand the pain without shouting out or grimacing. When I have to give blood, I go dizzy, so I look into the distance. They've done it. Overcoming the test means they have graduated to maturity. A woman puts a shell necklace around their necks. Protected by the spirits of the forests, they can now go fishing. I have to leave in a hurry as usual. We have just arrived in Alaska, but the salmons are not here yet. It is the end of June, and every year at this time the scene is repeated. The salmon return to the river where they were born in order to spawn. They group together in the ocean on their way to the rivers of Alaska. It is absolutely incredible how they find their way. It is believed that they smell the waters of their rivers and then head towards them. But it's not just us who are waiting for them. The fauna of Alaska anxiously awaits their arrival. There are so many of them that they make it very easy for predators. The passage from saltwater to freshwater produces morphological changes in them. Their gonads expand so much that they are unable to eat. The grizzly bear impatiently awaits their arrival. A diet based on salmon has turned these bears into the largest in the world. The majority die in the attempt, the most skillful escape. After a few days stuffing themselves with salmon, the scene is rather desolate, though not for the seagulls. The satiated bears continue hunting, but only for fun. Some salmon are caught and thrown away. With a bit of luck, they will manage to get back into the water. Those that have managed to get through continue upriver, become increasingly weak as they do. The most insurmountable obstacles are yet to come. They are not, in fact, insurmountable. If their parents could do it, then so can they, or they will die in the attempt. This is Darwin's theory in action. Only the strongest survive, and it is they that will breed. Exhausted, they expel their sperm onto the eggs that the females have left in the nest. The truth is, they don't look too good. They have been invaded by funguses. They are half dead. No, they're dead. The cycle begins anew. And from here, I'm off to visit a tomb. Thousands of kilometers away in Konya, a city in Anatolia, Turkey, is the tomb of Jalal al-Din al-Rumi, philosopher, poet, and Sufi mystic. The city seems to be impregnated with the teachings of the master. Rumi advocated understanding among people, whatever their race, creed, or social condition, which seems to me to be highly desirable in this turbulent world. Come, whoever you are, adorer of fire, idolater, or pagan, ours is not a place where pain or despair live. Everyone who comes will receive our welcome. Rumi believed in the virtues of dance and music as a form of liberation from all earthly limitations. The dervishes, after greeting the master, begin their whirling. The planets revolve around the sun and the dancers around themselves. The movement represents the agitated state of the soul. The dervishes turn with their right arms raised towards the sky and the left one pointing down in order to remain in contact with the earth. It is surprising that they don't faint. The turns become faster and faster, and the dancers, leaning their heads to one side, appear to go into a trance, the ecstasy that unites them with God. When Rumi died, his followers created the Sufi order of the Mevlevi, or whirling dervishes, who continued expanding his teachings across the centuries.